unlock.
Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on SOM TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at SOM TV and on YouTube at SOM TV Live. Now the major headlines. The federal government has warned it will impose sanctions, including a state of emergency on any state threatening national economic interest. Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, has described President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State as a timely and necessary intervention to restore stability. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas as the sole administrator of Rivers State. I am Esther Oka-Stephen with the news in full. The federal government has warned it will impose strict sanctions, including a state of emergency on any state threatening national economic interest. This comes amidst widespread criticism of President Bola Tinubu's declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State, which many see as a violation of democracy. Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi defended the move, insisting no state would receive preferential treatment. Meanwhile, President Tinubu swore in Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas as sole administrator to restore order. Former Governor Rotimi Amechi and Labour Party Peter Obi condemned the action as unconstitutional, warning it sets a dangerous precedent. The Ijaw National Congress also criticized the move, accusing the president of favoring FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The Senate deferred deliberation on the matter, while House members claimed they learned of it through the media. Despite heightened security in Port Harcourt, the city remains calm. Legal and political analysts urge Tinubu to reconsider and initiate dialogue to resolve the crisis. Abuja was thrown into chaos on Wednesday evening following a massive explosion at Karo Bridge, caused by a compressed natural gas truck that lost control and crashed into multiple vehicles before igniting. Eyewitnesses described the scene of panic as motorists abandoned their vehicles and fled. The explosion triggered a severe tragic gridlock between Kubwa and Inyanya, stranding thousands. Authorities confirmed that emergencies responders include the Federal and FCT Fire Service, the Nigerian Police, NEMA, and FRCS were deployed to manage the crisis. Victims were rushed to the State House Clinic as other hospitals reached capacity. The casualties count remain unclear, but search and rescue operations are still going on. Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Lateef Fagbemi, has described President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State as a timely and necessary intervention to restore stability. Fagbemi emphasized that the move was crucial given the escalating political crisis and security threats in the state. The declaration announced 10 hours ago has sparked mixed reaction across the country. In a follow-up to emergency rule, President Tinubu met with the newly appointed sole administrators of Rivers State at the State House, signaling the federal government resolved to address the situation. The development raises concerns about the broader implications for governance and democratic processes in the state. Gombe State has expanded its monthly sanitation exercise to include schools and healthcare facilities in addition to its regular end-of-month Saturday clean-up program. Some TV correspondents files in the report.
In its effort to improve sanitation and hygiene, the Gombe State government has extended its last Saturday of the month sanitation program to include schools and healthcare facilities. Speaking to the press in his office, the Gombe State Commissioner for Water, Environment and Forest Resources, Honorable Muhammad Saidu Fawu, reaffirmed the government commitment to keeping Gombe clean and hygienic. He noted that following the success of the ongoing end-of-month sanitation exercise, the State Executive Council, under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, has approved the expansion of the initiative to ministries, departments and agencies, and now to schools and healthcare facilities, while calling for cooperation from the people of the state and relevant stakeholders to ensure hygiene across communities and prevent communicable diseases. The commissioner said, "Last month, we carried out sanitation in government offices. Even as I speak to you now, the sanitation exercise in schools and healthcare facilities, which we include in our report, has already commenced. We hope people will cooperate and offer their support. Even though it is targeted at schools and healthcare facilities, there are still ways in which the public can contribute, and we urge them to do so." Commenting on the federal government's extension of the Open Defecation Free (ODF) target to 2030, the commissioner expressed regret that none of the 11 local government areas in Gombe State were among the 132 LGAs that recently received ODF certification at a national environmental meeting attended by ministers and commissioners for environment from all 36 states. He assured that before the end of this year, if not all, a majority of Gombe's local government will achieve open defecation-free status, as the state government has taken proactive measures such as awareness campaign, the provision of public toilet, and monthly sanitation exercise. We gathered in Abuja with all commissioners, ministers, and relevant stakeholders to launch the expansion of the ODF initiative to 2030. Out of the 774 local government areas in Nigeria, only 132 has been certified and issued ODF certificates. Unfortunately, none of the Gombe State 11 local government areas were included. People should understand that government effort alone will not yield result without their commitment. The monthly sanitation exercise was introduced by the state government in April 2024 and is observed on the last Saturday of every month with restriction on movement from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, MDAs, school, and healthcare facilities have also been included in the initiative. From Gombe, Kamal Hamajo reporting for Some TV.
The fight against Lassa fever in Taraba State received a major boost as the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, met with Governor Abu Kefos and his team in Abuja, pledging federal support to curb the recurrence of Lassa fever. The meeting held at T.Y. Danjuma House in Asokoro, Abuja, was at the instance of the governor, who is seeking federal intervention to strengthen the state fight against recurring Lassa fever. Also present were the Speaker of the Taraba State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzina, the Majority Leader, the Commissioner of Health, and the Permanent Secretary of the Liaison Office in Abuja. Governor Kefos, deeply concerned about the recurring outbreak of Lassa fever, made a passionate case for increased federal support. He stressed the need for more consumables, taste, and improved disease surveillance to protect the people of Taraba. Professor Pate, in response, commended the governor's proactive approach to public health and assured him of the federal government's commitment to working closely with the state to tackle the Lassa fever crisis. The Abia State Police Command dismissed Inspector Kufare Moses, AP number 338-763 for misconduct, effective February 21. Police spokesperson Maureen Chineka confirmed the dismissal in a statement issued in Umuahia, stating that Moses, formerly assigned as a security guard at UBA Bank in Aba, was decated and stripped of all police accoutrements following disciplinary proceedings. Commissioner of Police Danladi Issa reaffirmed the command's commitment to professionalism, emphasizing zero tolerance for misconduct and alignment with the Inspector General of Police vision for a service-driven and accountable force. In a related development, the Taraba State Polytechnic Jalingo recently played host to a significant delegation comprising officials from the Taraba State Ministry of Tertiary Education and members of the institution's governing council. The invite was made aimed at assessing the Polytechnic's infrastructure, identifying operational challenges, and formulating strategic solutions to enhance academic and vocational training. This initiative aligns with the broader vision of the Taraba State government to strengthen tertiary education and ensure that institutions such as the Polytechnic become key drivers of economic and industrial development. Leading the delegation was the Honorable Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Professor Nicholas Oliver Namasen, who emphasized the importance of the visit in repositioning the Polytechnic for greater efficiency. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
I take this opportunity to appreciate our guests for today. We want to appreciate their presence. We also want to appreciate the time they have taken to go around the various units that we have in this school and to to also see for themselves what the school is doing. So the distances from one unit to another.
The Taraba State Ministry of Tertiary Education, in collaboration with the Institution Governing Council, conducted an extensive assessment visit to Taraba State Polytechnic, Jalingo. The visit aimed to evaluate infrastructure, identify challenges, and develop strategic solutions to enhance academic and vocational training. The delegation received by Director Dr. Danlami Amos Abu, as led by Commissioner Nicholas Oliver, included the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Hamed Ahmed Kara, the Ministry Secretary, Mr. Danladi Adato, and the Governing Council Chairman, Dr. Abubakar Jugude, amongst others. The delegation inspected key departments including the Entrepreneurship Skill Center, Engineering and ICT Unit, Mass Communication Studio, Science Laboratories, and the ongoing multipurpose hall and hostel project. A major challenge identified was the lack of stable electricity supply, affecting operation in various departments. Dr. Abubakar Jugude, Chairman Governing Council and the Permanent Secretary of the Taraba State Ministry of Tertiary Education, assured the institution that all findings will be given serious consideration, reinforcing Governor Abu Kefa's commitment to strengthening tertiary education in Taraba State. The visit marked a renewed drive towards enhancing technical education in the state. Stakeholders anticipate swift government intervention to reposition Taraba State Polytechnic as a center for excellence.
Carry out some of this work, but however, on a manual ground, these are the benches that we still keep on carrying out our manual productions, like producing of all other things like beds, whatsoever things, and even maintenance and repairs of woodwork materials, especially even in the school here. It is called
Go around the various units that we have in this school, and to also see for themselves what the school is doing. So the distances
have to take on that, because what we saw was huge potential in terms of equipment that when fully analyzed and developed can assist the polytechnic as well as the state. For instance, where we went the integrated center, where you have bags, shoes, clothing materials, all kinds of embroidery materials. Personal attempts as the management should do very good task now. We are going to push His Excellency, who is passionate about this particular technique, to provide them with a transformer. And we shall see from there, the language and the equipment that we have will now be put for function.
Why is entrepreneurship?
Messi reporting for Sun.
Gombe State Governor Al-Haji Mohamadu Inuwa has upheld his practice of fostering stakeholders' engagement by hosting a series of Ramadan Iftar gathering at the Government House since their commencement on March 7th. This event has served as a crucial forum, instructive discussions with legislators, religious figures, business leaders, political appointees, and media professionals. Through this interaction, the governor reaffirmed his administration's dedication to inclusive governance, infrastructural advancement, and social welfare. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
Islamic tradition to host family, friends, and even outsiders for iftar. In line with this, Gombe State Governor Al-Haji Muhammad Inuwa commenced this year's iftar gatherings on March 7, beginning with members of the Gombe State House of Assembly at the Government House Banquet Hall. The event highlighted the lawmakers' vital role in the state's progress, with the governor commending their unwavering support and describing them as the key partners in development.
I must accept my satisfaction and happiness over the relationships that subsist between us. And I want to say that all we are doing is because of the successful and cordial relationship that has been built around the House and the Executive. And the result of that relationship is what the people of Gombe are benefiting from.
During the gathering, Governor Yahya announced the construction of 114 additional primary healthcare centers across all wards in the state, reinforcing his administration's commitment to improving healthcare access.
So let us work together and let us ensure that much as we do politics of reason, politics with sense, and politics of development. We did 114 and we are now doing the second leg, touching the 114 plus one more. So meaning we'll have 228 standard primary healthcare centers, despite what we did at the secondary healthcare level.
In his response, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Abubakar Muhammad Lugereo, lauded the governor's leadership and assured him of the Assembly's continuous support in driving the administration's developmental agenda.
First on the list in the iftar dinner, we are very much honored and highly grateful, Your Excellency, for this gesture.
On March 8, Governor Yahya hosted Sangaya teachers, reaffirming his commitment to integrating Quran and Western education while prioritizing the welfare of Al-Majri children. He emphasized the government's effort in constructing modern Sangaya schools and enrolling Al-Majri in the Go Health program. In recognition of his contributions, the Forum of Al-Rammas conferred on him the title Kadimul Quran, Servant of the Quran. Continuing his series of iftar engagements, Governor Yahya met with business leaders and labor unions on March 10, urging traders to reflect the nationwide decline in commodity price to ease the economic burdens on citizens. Labor and business leaders praised the governor's inclusive policies and plead their cooperation in stabilizing price for essential goods. On March 12 and 13, the governor hosted the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and political appointees, calling for unity and a focus on governance. He reassured them of his dedication to delivering impactful projects, including the construction of roads in family homes estate and new Shongo garden layout. Additionally, he announced the approval for the payment of outstanding gratuities to local government retirees, demonstrating his administration's commitment to workers' welfare. The grand final of the Ramadan Iftar series took place on March 14, where Governor Inuwa Yahya hosted members of the press and civil society organizations, acknowledging their critical role in promoting accountability, governance, and public enlightenment. Addressing the gathering, the governor reiterated his administration's commitment to transparency and press freedom, recognizing the media's responsibility in keeping citizens informed and fostering democratic growth. He also
has been said, Ronnie, I'm ready to answer any question. I will start to engage with you. If you want on a daily basis, I can do that. But for sure, no governor before me ever set that style of getting to the media at least quarterly. I did not miss this since I came.
In his remark, the state NUJ chairman, Farouk Muazu, expressed appreciation for the governor's open door policy and effort to keep journalists engaged in governance matters. He pledged to continue practicing accurate and ethical reporting to ensure the public remain well informed.
The bold step towards resolving the long-standing issue of our secretariat. Your efforts have brought us closer to achieving our goal, and we want you to continue pushing forward until we can proudly call our secretariat our own.
This concluded our report on the Ramadan Iftar series from Government House, Gombe.
We are taking a break. We'll be right back shortly with more updates on Som TV.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Welcome back. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) has refuted claim of an explosion at the Port Harcourt refinery, clarifying that the incident was a routine flare release. Videos circulating on social media had suggested a fire outbreak, but sources within the refinery confirmed that scene was a bulk flare from the facility flare stock, a standard safety machine used to burn off excess gases. NNPC Limited's Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Senaye, assured that there was no fire explosion or risk of staffs, nearby communities, or the environment. The company urged the public and media to disregard the false report. Lawmaker Josiah Yaro Angia, who is representing Wukari 2 at the State House of Assembly, has assured the people of Sokundi that the electrification project in the area will be completed soon, despite initial delay due to funding challenges. Angia, who represents Wukari 2 at the Taraba State House of Assembly, gave the assurance during a project inspection, noting that the contractors has maintained high standard. The project, initially scheduled for completion in December 2024, is now expected to be finished by May this year, pending the release of funds. Angia has pledged to engage relevant authorities to facilitate funding and ensure timely completion. Some TV correspondents files in the report.
Representing Wukari 2 at the Taraba State House of Assembly, Josiah Yaro Ange, has assured the people of Sokundi that the electrification project in the area will be completed soon under the Abu Kefas-led administration. Ange gave the assurance while inspecting the project, stating that the contractor has so far maintained high standards in executing the work. However, he noted that the project, which was initially scheduled to be completed in December 2024, has been delayed due to funding challenges. He further disclosed that the contractor had briefed him on the reasons for the slow pace of work and that lack of funds has been a major challenge. The lawmaker assured the people of Sokundi that he would engage the relevant authorities to facilitate the release of funds and ensure the timely completion of the project. Ange commended the community for supporting the contractor and promised to continue working towards their development.
We have gone around, we have seen the project. The project is okay, only that it has not been so speedy the way we expect. Because from the initial stage, as a member representing this board, we were the one man that moved for the project, and the project has been approved by His Excellency. And I came on as an oversight to see whether those the project is going well. The engineers, the site engineer, they are doing a quality work, but the work is not speedy. Even though through my inspection, they have told us there are challenges. And by special grace, we are going back, late back to His Excellency, to the ministry. Let them also solve the challenges of the company.
Also speaking, Engineer Nafinji Danjuma expressed satisfaction with the level of work done so far, but called on the government to expedite the release of funds to enable the project completion as planned. He expressed optimism that with the intervention of the lawmaker, the government would act swiftly.
I've been eager to see that this project is completed within the shortest possible time. I am here, I'm impressed with the work that is being done, but just like I've said, it needs to speed. They need to finish up this work within the shortest possible time.
In his remarks, former PDP chairman of Sukundi Ward, Moses Ange, expressed gratitude to Governor Abu Kefas for prioritizing the electrification project. He acknowledged the initial slow pace of work and urged the government to hasten its completion. He also commended Ange for his dedication to his constituents. On his part, project engineer Nuhu Huye solicited financial support to ensure the project's timely completion, assuring that once funds are made available, the project will be completed by May this year.
From the bottom of our heart, we are very much happy seeing the representative here among us, because from the inception, we know that we are having some lapses. The lapses we are having short of training, which we recognize. And part of the government, there are some other things to balance. So, but what we are soliciting, if we at the side, the financial will be made available.
This visit and assurance have renewed hope among the people of Sukundi, who eagerly anticipate the completion of the electrification projects.
A tragic fire outbreak in the outskirts of New GRA Gombe has left 3 families homeless after their houses were completely destroyed. The fire, which also affected nearby homes, comes at a time when many Nigerians are already struggling with economic hardship and rising food prices during the festive season. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
Tragedy struck Kuroliman Mounde, New GRA in Gombe, as a devastating fire engulfed 3 houses, leaving families in distress amid the ongoing economic hardship and rising food price during this year's fasting season. The incident occurred at approximately 1:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Eyewitnesses report that the fire started in one house before rapidly spreading to the neighboring homes, reducing all 3 to ashes. The fire did not stop there. It also affected several nearby houses, causing varied degrees of damage before firefighters managed to bring it under control. Malama Sakina, a victim who was among the first to witness the fire, recounted the terrifying moment she saw the flame. She also made the heartfelt appeal to the government and well-meaning individuals to assist the affected families.
I was doing house chores when my little sister ran to me, shouting that there was a fire in our room. When I saw it, I cried for help, but by the time people arrived, the fire had already spread and was burning intensely. I am appealing to the government and well-meaning individuals to please come to our aid. We are already struggling with economic hardship, and this disaster will make things even worse.
Among those who lost their homes is Mr. Yakubu, a retired medical practitioner. He described how he first heard about the fire and rushed back, only to find his house consumed by the flames.
I was in the house doing my supplications. and one of my neighbors wife called me to and they should please come. How will I come to your house is in fire. So actually, I cannot predict what is the source of the fire. I was just told by my neighbor. So before I arrived, the fire had engulfed all the rooms, especially the inner one that is surrounded. So there was so much things inside. When I came there, the fire had been control. So this is an unforeseen circumstances and it can happen to anybody. So we are calling on the people to so it's very unfortunate. This is the time to tell the people.
Another victim, Engineer Jibril, shares that he was at work when he received a distressing call about the fire. He immediately contacted the fire service, but by the time he arrived home, his house and 2 others had already been destroyed. Firefighters, however, managed to prevent the fire from spreading further into neighborhood. The third victim, devastated by the loss, was too grieved stricken to speak on camera, struggling to come to terms with the tragedy. Many other affected individuals were also in tears, uncertain about how they will recover from this misfortune. From Gombe, Kamal Hamajo reporting for Some TV.
Nigeria may experience another increase in fuel prices as the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has suspended the sale of petroleum products in Naira, a move that experts warns could push up the cost of premium motor spirits (PSM) in the coming days. The refinery, which has been a key supplier of refined products in the country, announced on Wednesday that it would now only transact in US dollars for crude oil purchases and product sales, citing challenges related to the Naira for crude exchange deal. Economic analysts caution that without urgent government intervention, this shift could lead to higher fuel prices, compounding the economic hardship already faced by Nigerians. They urge that since most independent marketers and fuel importers rely on Naira for transaction, their inability to purchase products from Dangote refineries in local currency could disrupt supply chain and drive up pump prices. The development comes amid ongoing concern about the volatility of the foreign exchange market, which has seen the Naira weaken significantly against the dollar in recent months. With the cost of crude oil purchases now directly tied to dollar availability, marketers may be forced to adjust price to offset exchange rate inflation. Government officials have yet to respond to the refinery's decisions, but stakeholders in the energy sectors are calling on swift policy measures to prevent further inflationary pressure on fuel and transportation costs. The Taraba Youth Roundtable has launched a bold advocacy for decency and discipline with a newly unveiled billboard at Taraba State Polytechnic. The initiative aimed to curb social vice such as drug abuse, cultism, and exam malpractice while promoting moral responsibility among students. With government endorsement and plans to expand the campaign across the state, the message is clear: uphold decency, reject social vices, and build a better future. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
No, we're not. See, we tried as much as possible not to make it something that be too rowdy, so that we can just have lovely touch of constituency and also make this open. So I'll give you to make his master's registration, he was surprised that he was supposed to pay about 100 plus, but he ended up paying 20-something thousand. He said that was when he felt the impact of Governor Abu Kefas. He said all this free education that we are talking about, he never knew this free education was real. It was yesterday he discovered that the free education is making impact. He went with his full package, but he came back home with a lot of money, and he has paid his school fees. You see, this is enough reason for every student to shun cultism, because cultism, it is not a leeway to success. Cultism is a gang that will only destroy your future. You may end up not graduating. It doesn't pay at the end of the day.
Another challenge! Another challenge!
Decent graduates, a graduate that at the end of the day, you will have our young ladies. On behalf of Taraba State Government, I want to cut this ribbon for the betterment of the entire student of Taraba State, not just Polytechnic. In the name of our Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The Aliko Dangote Foundation has begun distribution of 80,000 10 kg bags of rice to vulnerable individuals in Lagos State. This initiative is part of the foundation's plan to distribute over 1 million 10 kg bags of rice to reach 1 million vulnerable people across Nigeria. 774 local government areas, according to Aliko Dangote. The distributions of the rice is a demonstration of the foundation's commitment to upholding values of compassion and solidarity. The initiative aims to alleviate some of the burdens faced by vulnerable communities in Lagos State. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu commended Dangote's efforts, stating that the gesture shows the foundation prioritizes the welfare of the people over profits. Sanwo-Olu encouraged other wealthy Nigerians to emulate Dangote's effort. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has directed the 4 emirates in the state to commence preparation for the Salah Doba celebration to ensure a smooth and festive experience for residents and visitors. He also announced that the Kano State Emirate Council will be inaugurated in April to enhance its functionalities. The governor issued the directive during a Ramadan breakfast meeting with the Emirates at the government house in Kano. He emphasized cultural significance of the Doba, reassuring citizens that its administrations remain committed preserving their traditions. He also assured the public of adequate security during celebration. Yusuf highlighted that the council's guidelines and ethics will be unveiled at the inauguration. He commended the emirs for fostering unity and respect among themselves, noting this is unprecedented in the state's history. Chairman of the Emirate Council, Muhammadu Sanusi II, affirmed the relationship among the emirs and urged the government to leverage traditional institutions for grassroots policies dissemination. The Emir of Karayi Rano and Gaya expressed gratitude to the governor for manufacturing development and agricultural support in their regions. The House of Representatives has passed the 4 tax reform bills introduced by the executive arm of government last October. marking a significant step towards reshaping Nigeria's taxation system. That's all for now. Som TV is a 24-hour TV station. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Super Media TV. My name is Esther Oka Stephen. Thanks for watching.